And the idea is that stuff is still vulnerable.
It's still no, yeah. So the first thing you have to acknowledge is very vulnerable. Rajiv used the term structured and unstructured data. Think of structured data as data that sits it's like a spreadsheet. It's a database. So anything that sits in a set of cells in an Excel spreadsheet is usually, when you have lots of it, it's called a database. Unstructured data is like your emails and your Word files and all your documents. All of that data at some point in time gets stored in a bag. In the old days, it used to be tape, okay? In some places, it's still tape, but it can be stored in what's called colder storage. It doesn't need to be in the hotter storage that needs to be actively, accessed.
And the idea is that stuff is still vulnerable.
It's still, no, yeah. So the first thing you have to acknowledge is very vulnerable, because the bad guys decided you've got a lot of security defenses around your primary data, okay? You're doing that. You're actively looking at it because that's your Snowflake, your Oracle databases, your Word files, all that's active there. You've got lots of defenses around that, but you could be a little lapse. All that data on your secondary data, on your backup data, it's sitting there in a vault. Someone attacks it, and the sophistication of ransomware attacks was oriented around that because it's all your historical data. And at some point in time, someone does ask a historical question. What did I do 5 years ago? What did I do 10 years ago? And in many cases, you are required to keep that data. So the first thing you have to do is make sure that data is secure. This industry is called data protection. You got to protect it. And the advances in security have had to be, significantly strengthened. That's why I said, listen, this was become a security problem. However, just like keeping that data secure on its own without ability to get access to it. Now, the reason it was very hard to search and analyze that data, you have to understand that everybody in industry takes secondary data and they do what's called compress the data by doing what's called dedupe. So you remove a lot of the duplication of ones and zeros and you compress it into something highly compressed. That's really, by the way, what happens on a tape. Yep. You take this very expansive data, you compress it and put it into so when you want to recover it, you first have to do what's called rehydrate the data. You've got to take that data, unpack it, rehydrate it, and then you can search it. That's an expensive proposition in time, not expensive in compute resources. And as a result, it takes much longer to search it. Generative AI and ChatGPT, and this is the breakthrough. So we have a patent pending on the way in which we use RAG to be able to directly search our backup data and recover. So Rajiv may ask a question, exactly like he pointed out. Hey, 10 years ago, I wrote a bunch of risk documents, or we had a bunch of loans that we offered 10 years ago. This is a financial services, a bank. Can you summarize for me what we did? Or maybe you have hundreds of contracts from the past and you want to know the terms you offered particular vendors and so on from those contracts, all in documents. ChatGPT and retrieval augmented generation combined with LLMs is the best summarization tool. I've never seen anything as powerful in AI at summarizing a vast amount of data. So, there's a lot of technology behind this, like vector databases and so on. But we built that capability really fast, last 6-12 months, patented, applied for a patent on it because we expected our competitors would try to copy us, kept it under stealth.